I want to recreate a conversation for you. A manager sits down with a team member. He looks up and says, "Your communication needs to improve." The team member nods and nothing changes. Next quarter, same review, same feedback, same nod, same nothing changing. This is the feedback trap. Today, I am going to show you exactly how to get out of it. Most feedback does three things. It makes the receiver defensive, it gives them nothing specific to change, and it damages the relationship without improving the performance. The team member walks away feeling judged, not guided. This is not a rare failure, it is the default. The framework is called SBI, Situation, Behavior, Impact. It was developed by the Center for Creative Leadership, one of the most respected leadership research organizations in the world. And I have used it with managers across every kind of organization you can imagine. Let me walk you through each component. S is for situation. Situation means when and where did this happen? Not in general, not usually, a specific moment. Instead of you need to improve your communication, you say in yesterday's client meeting. That is the situation. One specific moment in time. Irrefutable, not a pattern, not a generalization, a single event that both of you can place precisely. B is for behavior. Behavior means what specifically did you observe? Not what you think the person's intention was, not what their attitude suggests, what your eyes and ears actually register. I noticed you interrupted the client 3 times before they finished speaking. That is behavior. Observable, specific, not a character judgment, an action that occurred and that a camera would have captured if one had been in the room. That is the most important shift in the entire framework, because behavior cannot be argued with. If I tell you your attitude is bad, you can disagree with me, but if I tell you that you interrupted someone 3 times, either that happened or it did not. The conversation stays grounded in fact. I is for impact. Impact means what was the effect of that behavior on the client, on the team, on the outcome, on you. And I could see the client pulling back. They shared less than we needed. And I think it contributed to why they did not commit at the end of the meeting. That is impact, real consequences, not punishment, not accusation, just the honest downstream effect of what happened. Now, let me show you what the full feedback sounds like when you put it together. In yesterday's client meeting, I noticed you interrupted the client 3 times before they finished speaking. I could see them pulling back after that. They shared less, and I think it contributed to why they did not commit at the end. I want to understand what was happening for you in that moment. That is it. Specific, observable, non-judgmental, and notice how it ends not with a verdict but with a curiosity. Not, you need to stop interrupting, but I want to understand what was happening. That last piece turns feedback into a conversation. And conversations build trust while still addressing performance. I worked with a manager here in Assam, experienced, committed, but his feedback was costing him people. When I asked him to write down the last piece of feedback he had given each team member, I looked at his notes. Needs to improve communication. Should show more initiative. Performance below expectations. I looked at him and said, If you were the team member reading those words, what would you do differently on next Monday morning? He thought about it for a long time. Then he said, I have no idea. That was the moment he understood the feedback trap. 3 months later, he told me he had the most honest conversation he had ever had with a team member. She thanked him for the feedback. Same manager, same team, one shift in the language he used. Now, your challenge this week. Think of one piece of feedback you have been avoiding. Rebuild it using SBI, Situation, Behavior, Impact. 3 sentences. Then have the conversation. Tell me in the comment, did it land differently? CHROs, if your managers are avoiding feedback conversations, DM me feedback and let us talk. I am Bikash Kalita. See you next week.